Hi, Valerie here again. And today I got a question from a lady called Amanda. And Amanda wants to know, what is harm reduction, and is it possible for somebody to drink normally again after they have had big problems with alcohol? We look at alcohol abuse in a very different way now. We know now that people who abuse alcohol abuse it because they have underlying mental health issues, or they have no connections with people, as in, they don't fit in, they feel they don't fit in anywhere. And the bigger the alcohol problem gets, the more they get pushed out, and the less connection. And the less connection you have to other humans, and when I'm talking about connection, I'm not talking about chit-chatting on the phone. I'm talking about connection, really being able to talk and be authentic and be yourself around people. Can a person ever drink again? Yes, they can. And I know that a lot of particular people, my lovely friends in AA that I was in for 10 years, are going to go, oh my God, Valerie, why are you saying that? Harm reduction is real. It's been around since the beginning of time. Basically, alcohol harm reduction is being able to continue drinking but not harming yourself or others. Okay, so when we look at harm reduction in any other area of life, we look at harm reduction as seatbelts. Okay, so we're not going to be able to stop people driving cars and driving them fast. So what do? We put seatbelts on them and we say, all right, well, if you're going to crash, at least the harm is reduced. Okay, so that's basically it. It's the same with putting a helmet on your kid when they go on the bike, or even putting your coat on when you go out in the cold. That's harm reduction. You're using it all the time. So there's absolutely no reason why it couldn't work with alcohol and alcohol abuse. It's just that we have been taught for so long that people who abuse alcohol are bad people, or people who drink too much have no self-control, or that they're selfish people. And it's not that way, because we have, on one side we have a person with very little connection or feeling of self-worth, and on the other side we have the community pointing fingers, and even within that person's family pointing fingers. And the old thinking was, once you're an alcoholic, you're always an alcoholic. That is not the new thinking. There's lots of other scientific evidence to point that harm reduction does work. Now, that doesn't mean to say it works for everybody. The best place I would go to when I'm sending people for anything to do with harm reduction is hams.org. Okay, so that's www.hams.org. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put a link below. And you'll find buckets and buckets of stuff. There's also a book that a fantastic man called Kenneth Anderson wrote. He literally wrote the book on harm reduction. So yes, if you're interested in learning any more about harm reduction, and even if you're a social drinker, and I know in Ireland social drinkers are usually, in the medical world, heavy drinkers, because we do tend to drink more than what's the recommended daily amount or weekly amount, and women tend to binge more. We tend to store it up for the weekend and have a few bottles of wine at home. So even if you're just thinking to yourself, oh, well, I'm not going to talk to anyone about my drinking, because the old way of thinking is, if I say the D word, the drink word, that means that I'm admitting that I have a problem and that I need to do something about it. And let me tell you, that is not true. Okay, if you're having issues with alcohol, investigate harm reduction. You could save yourself a lot of trouble. Avoiding it isn't going to make it go away. You do have to address it. So even if you just want to change your own drinking habits and you don't know where to start, harm reduction is the way. You wouldn't start teaching your child how to drive without teaching them that you put the seatbelt on. would you? So if you want to set a good example for your children, maybe start practicing harm reduction. I'm not telling you to stop drinking, I'm just telling you to be safe. That's all. Because I didn't know I was practicing harm reduction when I started to get well. I just found a safe place in a mental health aware group and with my psychiatrist, because here in Ireland, and I believe around the rest of the world too, that if you have an alcohol problem, you're not seen by psych teams. They won't see you until you're sober, hence my book, Come Back When You're Sober. And that's a big deterrent. Until the next time, please keep safe and well, look after yourself and look after each other, and send us a question. Okay, bye.